Hello, everybody. Welcome to this Wednesday morning here in Queensland. I'm not sure what time of day it is where you are in your part of the world, but please drop us a line, say hello, tell us where you're from. I'm Leonie Featherstone. My business is Sense of Empowerment, and I work with the beautiful doTERRA essential oils. I use them as my vehicle to reach out and touch as many lives as possible, and I'm very honoured that today I have with me Nicole Farrington, my partner in crime on this show, The Wisdom of Essential Oils. How are you, Nicole?
I'm great today, thank you, Leonie. It's a beautiful day here in Yeppoon.
Wonderful. And for those of you who don't know, hi, Nikki. Lovely to have you on with us again. For those of you who don't know, Yeppoon is in central Queensland on the coast, east of Rockhampton in Queensland, Australia. And I'm a few hours up the road, or about 4 hours up the road, just a bit of a jaunt. I'm in the valley outside of Mackay, which for those of our friends overseas, you've heard of the Great Barrier Reef. We both sit very close to the coastline on the Great Barrier Reef. So we really are living in God's country. So today, Nicole, hi, Julie. We're going to be talking about sense of summer. So guys, as you join in with us today, I want to know how your day is going. I want to know where you're from. And I'd love to know what feelings pop up when you think of summer, because I know some of our friends in the UK that join us are not possibly experiencing the same weather as we are. So what do the feelings of, what feelings come up when you think of summer? What does summer mean to you, Nicole?
Oh, it's a time of abundance and celebration coming together. To me, it's the time where everything happens. It's when I'm the most social, the time that I want to be around people the most, and I just enjoy company and the gathering of everybody. It's just a magic time.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And speaking of gathering and company, we love your company. So hop into the chat. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Michaela. Lovely to have you with us. And as I said earlier, we recognise that some of you are in different hemispheres, but of course, lots of feelings can come up at this time of the year with us being in summer. I think also summer is about action, that warmth. It's a little bit, I love to think of the seasons of life when we talk about summer. And for me, like the season of summer in life is about, this is the time when it's warm, we're sowing seeds, we're building our business, we're building relationships, where it's exciting, we're really, really productive. And so that's all great. Sometimes there are some downsides to that as well, because we can be so in the focus of working, we can get to burnout. So I would love to explore some of those things today, Nicole, if we can, about, the great sides of summer, maybe some of the feelings that come up that aren't so good. I know with Christmas coming up, some people really struggle with that. But the other thing we're going to do for you guys, we kind of love our conversation to go in lots of different directions, don't we, Nicole?
We do, yes.
But what we also love to do is we have these beautiful oil cards that I like to draw for you. So if you'd like an oil card, and I'll share with you some of the wisdom that oil has for you. And then Nicole loves to chime in with her beautiful wisdom. Nicole is a medium and a healer. So if you'd like a card and you have a particular healing area that you would like, please ask a question based on the healing side of things, and we'll do our best to get around to all of you this morning. Hi, Casey. Hi, Dom. Lovely to have you all on with us today. So I always like to draw a card for the collective to start with. So why don't we do that? Shuffle, 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 she says. And, oh gosh, sorry, they're dropping out all over the place. Let's do that. What do you think it's going to be? Well, this is interesting. I have drawn On Guard. Now, On Guard is our protective blend, and it's particularly protective in our seasons, our cooler seasons, when maybe our immune system is starting to be hammered. But it's quite interesting because I actually use On Guard all year round. I love it for its wild orange, eucalyptus, rosemary, cinnamon, and clove. It's a beautiful blend, and they're very powerful at supporting our immune system. But it's also on an emotional level about helping us protect our boundaries. So it's actually giving us the strength to say no when we need to say no, and to understand that we need to value ourselves. So I think it doesn't matter what season you're in with On Guard, it can be there for us at all times. And the centering thought that On Guard would like to leave with us is, I am safe and protected. I honour healthy boundaries in myself and others. So I think that's a perfect card. What do you think about that, Nicole?
I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I do. It's quite a nice sentiment.
Good, good. What do you think? What are your thoughts about summer and when you're talking about being productive and all of those sorts of things in your work? What are some of the challenges perhaps that you come across, or what's some wisdom you have for people in this summer of their life?
I think people everyone's really busy, very busy, to the point that they're overwhelmed with everything that's coming at them, and they're overscheduling, trying to fit so much into it because we've got longer days. It's just, we can do that, that they don't understand the power of the word no. No, I can't do that. There's only so many balls you can juggle, and you need to make sure that you're constantly on a nice even balance, and your needs and priorities are being met first and foremost. And if you're, a mother or a father, you've got to understand that, your family, what goes around you, you're the centre. And if you're ungrounded or overwhelmed, it kind of is the ripple effect. Everybody else is affected. So it is important to look after yourself, and that is, have your sleep and your time, but do those things that matter most to you. That's the important thing, giving yourself that passion. That, summer's a time of celebration. So it's not about celebrating who you are or trying to figure out, whether you're creative or sporty. It's time to try different things.
Absolutely. And I was thinking, Nicole and I were having a chat earlier about being in your joy bubble. So I think that my advice for all of you, because I like to throw in practical tips, is to get out your Ollie the Octopus, and you can download this on, I never know how to hold it. There we go. You can download that or just draw your own. You can download it on senseofempowerment.com.au, my website. And right in the centre of Ollie, what brings me joy? What brings me joy? And then write that in there. Or, those tips that Nicole was giving you, put a topic in there, and then, how am I looking after myself first? And it's like a little brainstorming tool, because so often we go, oh, yeah, that's good, we'll do that. And then we don't, because we're not taking the time out. And when you take time out of your day to do your planning, or to really think about who you are and what you want to be and how you want your life to be, you actually save time, because you make decisions quicker throughout the day, and then you're much happier because you're serving yourself. And when we serve ourselves, we're filling up our love tank, and then we can be of more service to others. Being of service to others, let's look after Julie. Julie would love a card. So Julie's been on quiet a few times. Hi Kerry, hi Anna, hi Amy, Annette, lovely. Okay, now this is perfect, because Julie, the card I've drawn for you is actually one of the oils I wanted to talk about, or just suggest would be a great oil for summer. And when we talk about summer being a time for us to really hit our straps and get out there and act on projects and, be productive, sometimes we might not be feeling so energetic. Well, this oil is going to help you, because this is our Motivate blend. And this is awesome because it's got peppermint in there, which is, going to really give you some pep. And it's got coriander, and coriander is the oil of integrity, helping us to be true to our own needs. So it's got some beautiful oils in there. But what it's about, Julie, and I'm not sure whether you are feeling a little bit stuck at the moment and you do need that little bit of a gentle push, but you'll find that get out your Motivate. You can get it in our emotional aromatherapy kit. It comes in a touch, or it comes in a little 5 ml, so you can pop it in your diffuser, diffuse it, or roll it on and use your personal diffusers to inhale. But it's going to just help you feel like, okay, I really can move forward now. So we want to give you energy. We want to give you confidence, Julie, that you really do have what it takes to get out there and make those dreams come true. So your centering thought is, I create experiences in my life that motivate me to take inspired action. I am motivated. Now, inspired action, I think that's really critical to think about, because as I just said, you won't know what inspires you if you don't take the time to sit and think about what's inspiring you. So that little time out, a little bit of brainstorming, Julie, And the question for you is, why am I so easily motivated? What do you think about that, Nicole, for Julie?
I think that's some good advice for her. She's there's a lot of emotion that's sitting within her gut, and it's almost stopping her from breathing, and it's affecting her ability to open her mouth and speak, to her jaw, to talk her what it is that she's feeling. So she's kind of bottling it down. If she doesn't feel that she's able to deliver those emotions in a verbal sense just yet, without worrying what might come out, perhaps write them down first and get them in a bit of more clarity so they're clearer for her to understand, and then that might make it easier for them to then be spoken. But that might help with her breath and everything, because it's just kind of sitting there at the moment and it really needs to be released.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. I've just popped up Nicole's details there on the screen because Nicole is amazing at what she shares and her wisdom, and I've had many sessions, and she's a mentor for me, and I really recommend. I think we all need mentors. Those of you who've been on with us for a while have heard me say we need a life toolkit, and my essential oils are just a major part of that toolkit, but people like Nicole are also in my toolkit, and I think we need to take advantage of the services and the wisdom of people around us, because we don't have to do this life alone, and we're all here to support and help each other. Hello, Suzanne. How lovely to have you on. Margaret, welcome. Okay, Julie, you are more than welcome. Okay, so Casey would like a card as well. Casey is wanting to move forward. Now, one of the things I want to share with you with essential oils is that there's so many, and sometimes you're going to get an oil that you're going to go, I don't like that oil. Well, let me just give you a little bit of advice. Persevere. Often the universe knows better, and the oil that I've just pulled for you is one that I struggle with, but I have learned that I have to find ways to like it because it has great wisdom for me and great benefits. It is patchouli. Patchouli is a very popular oil out there, but it's just one that I have struggled with, and I know why, and I need to work through that. So there's lessons. So Casey, okay, so Casey, how do you feel about yourself? Maybe you're not quite feeling your own worth, into your own worth. Maybe you're feeling a little bit, maybe a bit too judgmental, a bit too hard on yourself, I'm thinking, Casey. So patchouli is going to help you to let go of that and just, accept who you really are. And your centering thought is, my body is a temple. I honor and respect it. It houses my spirit. I am aware of my body's needs. And your affirmation, because we always like to give you a question that will elicit a positive response from you. And your question is, why do I love my body?
That's it. It feels as though Casey's got herself almost in a box, and she's trying to create something new and be somebody else, but she's not sure how to get out of the box that she's created. And all she has to do is start making small decisions, small changes in her life to enable her to break free of those four walls and start creating something different. And that will help with her breathing and her ability to see herself in a different light.
Thank you, Nicole. I hope that resonated with you, Casey. And one of the things, guys, that I wanted to share with you is that Nicole and I are just going to give you really small snippets, because I guess our session, The Wisdom of Essential Oils, is very much about empowerment. It's about empowering you to go on a journey to explore, and you can only do that by going deeper. This is just very superficial, and we both like to invite you to connect with us. I love to take people on an oily exploration. I call it a sensational exploration, where I connect with you one-on-one, find out what your needs are, and we tailor make some solutions, and I partner with you on a long-term journey, sharing with you how those oils can benefit you on a physical, on an emotional, on a spiritual level. and sharing resources with you so that you can then start to learn and walk that journey on your own. And I'm always there as your guide. So if you're not already connected to a doTERRA wellness advocate, reach out to me, because I'd love to start that journey with you, so we can really help you thrive. And you can throw me into your toolkit then. And of course, Nicole, you can tap into Nicole as well and have in-depth sessions. Maybe, Nicole, do you want to just explain how your sessions work?
Yeah, I work with my spiritual guides. So we tune into your physical and emotional well-being, and where you are at the moment, what is sitting within your physical form, and how can you release that so that you can process emotions or trauma or illness and move forward in life. The first thing is you wanting to make a change. So by coming to me, it starts that ability to enable that change. And it can be a process of working through things, but the biggest joy for me is seeing progress. You feel it, but for me to watch, and knowing that I've only helped. I don't do the work. You do what is required, but to see it, to see you come out on the other side is really wonderful. That's the part that I love most. I love that, connecting with people and having a relationship, but it's a bond, and it's really special.
Beautiful, beautiful. So reach out to Nicole. Okay, Dom, my friend. Dom would like a card. And Dom, I have pulled for you Ylang Ylang. Now, this is really interesting because those of you who have been with us for a while know that we love to have a blend for our topic, which is sense of summer, and also an affirmation. And Nicole has been coming up with some amazing blends, and she's come up with a cracker this week. And Ylang Ylang is one of them. So we're not going to talk about the blend yet, but I want to just talk to you, Dom, about Ylang Ylang. Dom, right now, maybe you're not seeing your own worth. Maybe you're not trusting your intuition. Maybe things have got a bit too serious. And I love Ylang Ylang because it actually encourages us to play. It encourages us to connect with our inner child. So Dom, maybe that's what would be good for you. Connect to that inner child and trust. Let go of the past, the sorrow, the disconnection. Let go of that, and then come back to that beautiful little innocent inner child who just wants to play and enjoy and who believes in themselves. And so your centering thought, Dom, I have all my answers. I listen to my inner knowing. I honor my inner child. And your question, Dom, why is it so easy for me to love myself and trust my intuition?
That's good. It feels as though Dom's quite separated within her body. She's very, from her shoulders up, that's the part of her that's working the most. She's almost disconnected from the rest of herself. And she's living more in her shoulder space and her head. And I'd like her to come out from that and reconnect with the rest of her body. Start feeling it. And whilst there might be some pain there, but start reconnecting again with it. And living more in the now as opposed to in her head, through her heart. And just because it's logical and it makes sense on paper, or what it makes sense to other people, doesn't always mean it's right for you. So as long as you're going through your heart and feels well and it resonates with the rest of your body, it's generally right for you. And just to trust those things.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Casey's, thank you, Casey. I'm glad things are getting better for you. Wonderful. Hi, Sharon. Okay, so Sharon's asking, what can I use to help my son's sensory processing issues? Sharon, happy to draw a card for you, but I think that's the sort of topic that I love to take offline and talk to you one-on-one. When we're talking about sort of physical issues, etc., it's safer to do that offline. So, okay, what I wanted to just mention with summer is that you mentioned something about balance before, and I think that a nice way to think about the seasons when we're talking about summer is to realize that it is a process. Life is a process. And so rather than just talking about the physical summer right now, so often we find that people want to be in the summer because it's warm and it's fun and everything's happening. But then when we might slip into a bit of winter, they think that the end is coming. Whereas really when we understand that we're going to go through winter, we're going to go through autumn, we're going to go through spring, and we're going to come out into summer, it's okay. And it's about balancing and learning how to manage those. And I think the other thing, if we come back to summer, if we think often in our emotions, if we think about them and relate them to the physical or relate them to nature. So, in summer we get, we might be outside and it's really hot and then we just have to come inside and cool off. And in winter we get really cold and then we have to come inside to warm. If we can look after ourselves emotionally in the same way without sort of giving up. Does that make sense? So then that's when you can bring in your oils. So if you are being too active, then maybe we need to just go, okay, now I'm just going to put on some relaxing lavender. I'm going to put on my nice soothing oils and I'm going to just chill out for a while, because otherwise you have burnout. I don't know if I'm making sense there with my seasons analogies, but I like to think about that because so much emotion gets wasted otherwise. What do you think about that, Nicole?
No, it does, but it's adapting to the changing in the seasons. I mean, for summer, it's, earlier mornings and you do things first up and you kind of hit that 9 or 10 o'clock and then it's hot. So you then change and you come within, and then, at 3 or 4, it's cooling down. So then you're going out again. With winter, it's the other way. You stay in till later, then you come out. And so with each season, you make all these changes and you adapt. And it's like our ancestors throughout the centuries have done the same things. And that's how it's connecting ourselves again back to the earth, which makes us grounded and more able to activate our own senses. And it just brings us all into a balance because we're going with the flow. The universal, the earthly flow, we're moving with that in the same sense as it is around us. So I think that offers that balance, and it's just for us to realise it, but to allow those adaptations and those changes to happen.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I believe is that when I'm in a downtime, I look for the lesson and I go into gratitude. And I think that an oil that is really good here, and some of you may not really know about this oil, is spikenard, because spikenard is about, helping us to truly appreciate life and to see the lesson, to be grateful for whatever is happening at the time. For instance, in our world, we tend to, we're always trying to be more youthful and cover up the grey hairs and things like that. Whereas really, I celebrate the wisdom that a grey hair is pretty much announcing to the world, this person's been around a long time and they've got a lot of stories to tell. And so I think with this seasons, like if you are in an emotional season of winter, ask yourself, what is the lesson, and be grateful for the learnings that you have, and to be grateful for that time as a time to go within and to really understand who you are and to see the deeper meaning in that situation instead of just throwing hands up. So spikenard has been around for centuries. There's many references in the Bible. It was often used to anoint people of high standings, and it's a very strong oil. I was playing around with it this morning and mixing it with the other biblical oils, myrrh and frankincense. And so on that note of blending, I want you to play with your oils. I'd be interested to know how many of you have doTERRA essential oils out there, because they're the ones I'm talking about. But it's really important that you learn how to use them. We want to empower you. And so do not be afraid of them. Allow your intuition to come out and just play. And which brings me to our blend, Nicole, and we will do some more reading shortly. But I want to know, how did you come up with the blend that we're going to share with the ladies and gentlemen shortly?
Well, I have this beautiful book that Miss Leonie gave to me, and in it is a page on emotions index, and I kind of go to that and I look for what I'm wanting to achieve, because they've got like unbalanced emotions and balanced emotions. So I kind of yeah, that's what I go to. I look at that and I just see, what it is that I'm wanting to achieve. And at the end of it, it's kind of, it feels right or it doesn't. Sometimes I go, no, that one's not right, and I pull it out and I'll put something else in. But at the same time, I trust my intuition. I mean, the ones that I have that I use for myself, I open my cupboard of a morning and it's more a sense of, what stands out today? I don't know all the ins and outs of the oils like Leonie does, so I just go on things and I might get one or two. Sometimes I'll get three and I'll just have a little smell and I'll go, oh, gee, that's it. I really like that, and I'll just put it on my hands and off I'll go. So that's how I use it. I either my intuition or I look to that emotional book to see what it is that I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. And so, guys, get out there and start blending. And if you've got any questions, pop them in. But let's have a look for Nikki. Nikki's next on our list, and we'll see what we can come up with for Nikki. Oh, Nikki. This is really interesting. Guess what I've got for Nikki? Rose, another oil that Miss Nicole has popped into our blend this week. I'll have nothing to talk about when you get to your blend. Okay. So, Miss Nikki, Rose is all about love, unconditional love, not just loving other people. Nikki, this is about loving on yourself. This is about allowing those petals to unfurl, feeling safe, to reveal your own inner beauty. So it's also about when we open the petals, we're leaving room for love to come in. So, Nikki, this is about opening yourself up to really receiving true love and loving yourself. So often that's what gets left out, is that we're so good at giving love to other people, Nikki, we forget that we are deserving of love. And so your centering thought, I am divine love. I have the capacity to heal within. I open my heart to receive. And your question, Nikki, is why is my heart so open and full of love?
There's some big changes going on with Nikki at the moment, and she feels quite light, but at the same time she needs to sit more within herself, and that perhaps that's where the rose comes in and being loved, because she has to start viewing herself in a different way for all these changes that are coming about now to sit right with her. And once that happens, I think it will be a lot smoother sailing for her. She'll be able to move forward and the processes won't be so daunting. They'll be a lot more easy for her.
Beautiful, beautiful. And who was next on our list? Annette. Annette. Okay, Annette. Oh, you've actually got coriander. Coriander, lovely spice oil. Lovely spice oil. Okay. Coriander is about integrity. This is about being true to yourself. This is about honoring yourself. So whether there's, maybe some doubt, Annette, maybe you're not feeling very secure at the moment, but coriander is here to support you. Coriander is here to ask you to accept you and to see your worth and to be true to you. And your centering thought is, I live a life of integrity. I honor who I am in all aspects of my life. I stand for truth. I find purpose in my life and my own capabilities. And your question is, why is it so easy for me to honor and believe in myself?
No, Annette's got a lot of emotion, a lot of things to say, and they're stuck right in her throat. And it's just enabling her to speak her truth, to speak what it is that she needs to say to that person or that group, or to life in general for the way things are working out at the moment. The biggest thing is just shifting that, and that is whether it's her self-worth or the doubts that she has about herself or the situations. But the biggest thing is clearing that her throat so she's able to speak, making those changes.
Beautiful. And Ed, I'm not sure if you already have oils. Just drop us a message. But when people talk about, and you're going here to the throat to speak, lavender and spearmint jump into my mind, because we talk about lavender as being helping us to see the worth in our words, and spearmint is giving us the courage to actually speak them. So they might be a couple of others for you as well. Do you know, with regard, sorry,
just with the net, if she can, just the cilantro or the coriander would be good, because she's storing a lot of those emotions within her liver, and whether that's just making her a bit sluggish too. So that might help her if she's able to eat coriander as well as the oil. Yeah. Beautiful.
Dom, you're back. You did miss your card, Dom, but you can watch the replay of this, because it'll be sitting up there on the platforms, whether you're on the Spiritual Events Directory watching us, or whether you're on my senseofempowerment.com.au site. You can watch the replay as well. So we next have another beautiful friend of mine, Suzanne. Suzanne, you have In Tune, which is our focus blend. So, Suzanne, maybe, I mean, it hasn't been an interesting year. Maybe you're feeling a bit disconnected. Maybe you're feeling a little bit out of touch, sort of, like the mind, body, spirit isn't all totally connected right now. But In Tune, because of the beautiful oils, and there's lime, there's sandalwood, there's all sorts of gorgeous oils in there, but there's oils to calm, there's oils to help focus. So this is going to be a blend to help you bring that all together. And your centering thought is, I create a life of focus and direction. I live in the present moment. And Suzanne, your question to ask yourself is, why is it so easy for me to stay focused and connected?
She almost is looking for something so much that she's leaning forward in life, and it's not enabling her to breathe properly. If she could sort of be conscious of her posture and being straight and upright, she will actually find she's more centered within herself, and that will make things easier for her to move forward, because it'll move forward at a more natural progression other than a forced way, and that will sit better with her.
Wonderful, wonderful. We might just do Margaret, and then I just want to have a bit more of a chat about summer oils and what we can bring into our summer to make sure it's a sizzler. So Margaret, you mentioned cilantro earlier. You got cilantro, Nicole. Cilantro is all about... by the way, cilantro is amazing when you add it to your hummus, just saying, because I love the fact that our oils are so pure, we can use them as food flavouring. But it's about releasing control. And that's a really challenging thing to do, Margaret, I understand. But sometimes we have to realise that certain things are out of our control, and being in control is actually letting go of the reins and allowing the process of life to flow. So I'm not sure if that's making any sense to you at all, but I hope so. But cilantro, you could diffuse it. You could add it in with some fractionated coconut oil and, I'd blend it with something else because it's quite a strong oil. But if there's an oil that you find the smell a little bit too strong, just pop it on your feet. Great place to put it, and you're still going to have that bodily effect. Your centering thought is, I create freedom to honour myself and all that I am. I release the need to control. And the question that you have for yourself is, why is it so easy to create a strong and solid foundation?
Margaret, there's a lot of things going on within your stomach. You're very nauseous, and I think you're suffering a lot of reflux. And you just need to start processing what it is that you're, and it's not so much, it might not be food, it could be emotion that you're putting within your gut. Start confronting some of those things and making choices and decisions that are now going to be right for you that perhaps before weren't. And that should start to ease some things down for you.
Beautiful. And cilantro is a great oil to support the digestive system as well. Do you know, when I think about summer, and we've been talking about its action and its, planning and activity, I think it's also a time where we can dream. And I'd love to ask you guys, how many of you have dreams? Because this is a time to dream big. And a question perhaps to ask yourself is, what legacy do you want to leave behind? Because we all do have seasons, the seasons of life. And we know that, the spring, it's all exciting. We're clearing out all the emotions, and we're getting ready for the summer and all this action. And then we come into fall, where we start to reap. And then winter is the time of go within. And it's also sometimes we go. So it's like, we are on this earth for a short time. And I'd love to think that we're all, and which is what Nicole and I are here about, empowering you to be the best you can be. And if we haven't really, we can be the designer of our own destiny. And this is why I encourage you, just brainstorm. Again, get Ollie. What dreams I have? What legacy do I want to leave? Because then you start to really realize that this is what I want. This is what brings me joy. These are my dreams. And then you can start creating an action plan now that we're in summer, the summer of our life, and get busy and get active. I think On Guard was a perfect oil for us to draw as a collective, because so often when we have those dreams, we have people attack us and go, oh, that's silly, or you can't do that. And On Guard is very good for setting those boundaries and just keeping that energy away. Another great oil. Let's talk about your blend, because the oils in it are so good for this topic. So let's talk about your blend. This is a Sense of Summer blend that Nicole created.
Okay, so we have the Lang Lang, which is exuberant. It's releasing your burdens and your worries. Then we have Fennel, which is to flourish. So we're no longer unproductive. Lemongrass, which is flowing, which is nothing's stopping us now. Peppermint invigorates us. It's nothing's holding us back. And rose is for love, and love is within us and surrounds us. So with the combination of all of that, it's summer is in the air, everything is fresh and alive, possibilities are endless, and abundance thrives. So it's almost like a little spell, almost, when you say, I just thought of it. And it's what we're casting in. And daydreams are important too. So perhaps in this time of summer where we're able to create, when we daydream, we go into, we connect to the divine, and we start creating. And that's where dreams, we can, realize our dreams that we would like, our passions, areas that we would like to do, or things that we would like to achieve. And by doing daydreaming, we actually connect to those things. And then perhaps with the oils, that combination and the affirmation, that's when things can thrive.
Beautiful. I absolutely love it. And that the spell, or the aromatic affirmation, aromatic anchoring, where you saying your little verse or the words that are meaningful to you as you're using the blend. You might want to pop it in your diffuser. You might want to create a body cream. We've got a beautiful unscented hand cream that you can add that in, and just aromatically dress daily in that. Or you could just use your personal diffusers again, put that blend on, inhale as you recite that affirmation, and do it regularly. There's no minimum or no maximum amounts of time. You can do that every day. I love those oils, and I wanted to just go a little bit more into them, if I may, Nicole, because for those of you who maybe are new to the emotional aspects of the oils, sometimes you can look at what the oil does physically, and the oil will do it physically because it's chemistry. When you look at the components within those oils and you look at the actual effect they have on the physical body, that's why they work. And then you can bring that into the emotional. So with ylang ylang, it's a really heavy, dusky. It's actually, they used to put the flowers on the beds of the newlyweds in Indonesia because it's known as an aphrodisiac. But it's quite relaxing. It's also quite hypertensive. So you will see it being used, with areas of the heart physically. But it's very soothing. It's very relaxing, and it comes back to what I said earlier about just when we're in that relaxed state, we can often reacquaint ourselves to that inner child, and ylang ylang really invites that inner child out to play. And I love what you said, it's releasing the burdens, because as children, generally we really don't know about those things that are going on in the world. So it's a beautiful one. So think about flow, play, as you said, just releasing those burdens. And then fennel was your next one. Now, fennel is an amazing oil to support the digestive system. It actually has antispasmodic qualities. And so when you talk about no longer unproductive, how many of you can relate to this? You get a project and you start and then you stop and then you start. So it's that spasmodic action. Well, fennel will help take that away and help you just flow. And it's interesting. I love reading up stories about the oils, and apparently the Roman warriors used to use fennel for strength during battle. And so again, if you look at history, you know, history is it's great. We look back through history and it's like we're connected, you know, by the stories, and they are still as relevant today as they were then. But what I love about fennel is it's actually inviting us to take responsibility for our choices. So again, what were your words? No longer unproductive. You know, we decide. Just decide, guys. It can be that simple. It can be that simple. And then lemongrass. Well, lemongrass, if you look at a lemongrass, it's like it's thin and it's a little bit like a sword. So if you think about lemongrass is very, what did you say? Nothing is stopping us. So almost think about you've got your sword and you're cleansing and you're cutting away negative energies and clearing out. So, you know, it's really powerful like that. The other thing that lemongrass on a physical level, it's very good for soothing. So people who maybe are sporty and have some connective tissue issues, add lemongrass into your massage. And if you think about that, what did you say? Nothing is stopping us. So we're connecting. We've cut away what's not serving us and we're connecting everything that does. And then peppermint. Nothing will hold you back with peppermint. Peppermint gives you pep. Peppermint energizes you. Peppermint elevates you above whatever's going on at that particular time. And then we come to rose. And rose is very much about seeing the inner beauty. Often we look at a rose and go, and we're looking externally. It's inviting us to look within and see that inner beauty and to believe in our own beauty and love on ourselves so that we can unfold with safety. And we can show the world our beauty, but we can also bring that love in. Love is within us as it is without. So it's that divine love without, divine love within. And I just think that blend is amazing. I have to say, guys, when I looked at it, I went, oh, okay. And as I started to create it, now here's a little tip. I started to create it. I repurposed my face cream jars and I put them in there. And then I was like, okay, that's okay. But I put the lid on and I left them to play. Sometimes you need to let the oils play and work out who's who in the playground and mingle and calm down and get to know each other. And so this morning when I came in, it was like, oh, wow, that's really beautiful. So well done, Nicole.
All the hard elements are softened to come together then.
Yeah. So I really encourage you guys to, to really get out there and play with your oils. So I think Cherie had asked for a card, and Suzanne, you're very, very welcome. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Susan. Susan's saying your blend speaks to her, Nicole. Well, Susan, you'll have to try it. Hop on again and let us know. So Cherie, your blend is Console. This is our a blend we have in the emotional aromatherapy kit, and this is very much I'm not sure, maybe you've been through some tough times, maybe you've had some loss, but Console is like someone just reaching out and giving you a really big warm hug. And so it's also about helping you to release that sadness and to be comforted, basically. So your centering thought is, I accept the painful transitions in life as moments to reflect and learn that pain can be a great teacher. And your question is, why do I feel such peace and comfort?
Yes, there's certainly a lot of emotions there, and it's almost like she can't breathe. And I think she feels like she's almost suffocating at times. But if she can just It's just a matter of opening up her chest and starting to process those emotions, not burying them deep down, because she has to cry, she has to be angry, she has to be frustrated, she has to be all of the emotions that come to surface, so that she can start to process them. It's a process, and for her, it's just going through those motions. Some days will be better than others, but it's just what she needs to do. Tears clean your soul. So she needs to start feeling those emotions.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Tears clean your soul. I love that. Better write that one down. Okay, so we also have Kaya wanted to know if we have any messages for her. Kaya, Ginger. So I love ginger. Ginger to me is just such an empowering oil, Kaya. So maybe you're feeling a bit powerless at the moment. Something's gone on, and there's always a temptation to unknowingly fall into victim mode, and you're stronger than that, Kaya. So it's like knowing you can reclaim your personal power, and Ginger's just going to warm you up and help you, give you that warrior woman attitude that you can deal with whatever it is that's going on around you. So your centering thought is, I have the ability to create change within myself and in my life. I am empowered. I am capable. And your question, Kaya, is, why do I feel so empowered to live the life I deserve?
There's a lot of unbalance there for Kaya, and she's leading not always in the best way for her. And if she could start perhaps following things through her heart, it might start to offer a bit more of balance and stability, which is something that she feels she is lacking. So it will just calm things down a little bit, and it will feel like she's able to move forward at a more peaceful way than at the moment. Everything's quite difficult.
I hope that that resonates with you, Kaya. We've got the lovely Leanne wanting some help as well. So Leanne, the card, actually it's really interesting. We've had quite a few herbaceous oils coming up today. Is thyme. So thyme is another very potent oil, and it's about releasing. So Leanne, this is about letting go of any toxic emotions or thoughts that you are holding on to. There could be hurts. And just knowing that until you get them out, they will stay there festering. So there's times just inviting you to let them go, because it is about releasing. And the more you release, the more room you have then for peace, for resolution of whatever your situation is. And your centering thought is, I release the prisoners of my past and send them love and light. I am love. And your question is, why is it so easy for me to release the past and heal?
Today must be the thing for emotions stored in our gut, because there's a lot there, but she's having some problems with her left eye and her vision, or the way she's seeing things isn't correct. She's looking more in a logical way, where she needs to start looking at her intuition and how what she's seeing makes her feel. And that might balance up her gut and the emotions that are in there to justify what it is that she's feeling. It's quite busy, and just perhaps that ginger, was that what you said?
Yes. Oh, sorry, no, time for. Oh, sorry, for Leanne. Yeah.
Yeah, it might just calm things down, but she just needs to look at things in different aspects.
Yeah. Nicole, because you were saying there's a lot of emotions that are being stored in the gut today, friends, I'd really suggest you look into our digestive blend, which is called, the doTERRA digestive blend is called Digest Zen, and it has a beautiful mix of ginger, peppermint, caraway, fennel, anise, tarragon, all oils that are very powerful at supporting the gut, whether they're antispasmodic, whether they're calming, whether they're, helping with that nauseousness. I think that came up today as well. So very, very powerful blend. So that might be something for people to look into as well. And reach out to me if you don't have a doTERRA Wellness Advocate. I'd love to look after you. Journey, Journey's looking for some messages as well. So your oil, my friend, is geranium. Do you know, it's probably just life, but so often we have a little bit of heartbreak, or maybe something's happened that we don't have this trust. And Journey, I feel that this is what's going on for you at the moment, that you know you've closed off your heart a little, and maybe just for self-protection. But what geranium does is invites you to open and again to trust. And again, it's about letting out what no longer serves you. And part of that process can be forgiveness. So forgiveness is a great way to help heal our heart and to open it up, and knowing that you deserve love. And when you open up to trust, love will flow. So your centering thought is, I open my heart to love. I trust myself. I allow myself to receive love. Love is abundant in my life. And your question is, why is it so easy to trust myself and my intuition?
There's a lot stored within her throat, a lot of emotion that's just sitting there that she needs to start to speak. She needs people to be aware of how she's actually feeling. Because when people guess, they don't always get it right. So her words are what will cement things more clearly for people with the time to help. It's very important for her to start, because I think whether she's suffering sore throats or whatnot, but it's really stuck there, and whether there's some indigestion as well. But she really needs to start speaking the words that matter to her.
Do you know, sometimes if you cannot, I always remember something my mother did, and I love throwing in practical tips, but Mum, when there was certain members of the family, teenagers and a bit older, and maybe they weren't listening to her, she used to write letters to them. And they actually, curiosity, they had to read the letter. But I think that getting it out on paper, if we are feeling restricted and cannot actually voice it to the person, a great start is to actually write it out on paper, because it can actually help the thoughts get out. And then you can maybe move on from that and actually say it to the person it needs it to be said to. But, Ollie, again, it comes in handy. Just, what do I need to say? And just put the words, because sometimes when we're faced with, oh, my God, I've got to write, that seems like a big chore. But if you just put down words or emotions, it's only for you. It doesn't matter. Just get it out, because anything that's toxic in your body will manifest into dis-ease. So we need to get rid of those emotions or those thoughts or those words and get them out. And on that note, I just want to give a little bit of a plug for the spiritual journal, Discovery Journal, that Sarah Watkins and Kathy Shanks have created. And you can go onto the Spiritual Events Directory page and look for the link to that if you'd like it, because there's 12 contributors in there, very proud to be one of them, and my daughter's one as well. And it's just 12 different ways of journaling, where you can find different ways to get those thoughts, get those words out onto paper. So give that a try. Okay, well, how's our time going? Gosh, it's really ripping through this morning, isn't it, Nicole?
It is.
Okay, so let's have a look. Our next person on the list was Fiona. Fiona, you have Smart and Sassy. That's our metabolic blend. So the oils in here, like the cinnamon and grapefruit and lemon, going blank now, but this is all about actually helping balance your blood sugar and get your metabolic system, really cracking along on a physical level. But Fiona, I think perhaps with you it may be, again, coming back to just seeing the worth within and understanding that you do have value. So sort of letting go any feelings of, I'm not worthy, letting go of so often we're our own worst enemy, and we physically ignore our body and we physically ignore our little self inside. So your centering thought is, I fully accept myself and my body. I see my inner beauty. And your question is, why is it so easy to love myself so fully and completely?
There's a lot Fiona's trying to control, and it's taking her off balance a little bit. She needs to just trust the flow of things more, and that will help take that pressure off her lower back and the pressure within her hips, so that she can just trust the flow of things. by releasing the control, it will just enable how it's supposed to be to happen. And to just find a peace in that will make it easier for her.
Beautiful, beautiful. There's a couple more people wondering, guys, if we don't get around to you because we do run out of time, just reach out to us privately. I'll go back in and comment on your comments as well. But I wanted to just throw in a few more oils for you, because this is the wisdom of essential oils, and I want to just throw in a couple of other oils for summer. Bring out your citrus, guys. Citrus oils are amazing, and a few of my favorites I just wrote down here. Lemon. Lemon is so powerful emotionally. Just think about it. Okay, so physically, if you're into cleaning, it is so good at it cuts through scum, it cuts through grease, it cuts through sticky residue on labels. Think about that in your emotional life, in your spiritual life. It's just cutting through, cleansing, and it'll also cut through any bad habits like procrastination. So think about lemon as, when I talk about the seasons, and if you're in, maybe you're in a bit of a winter season within your mind, within your heart, it'll be like bringing you back to your own inner sun. So bring some lemon in. All of the citrus are very high in what they call a constituent called D-limonene, which supports the production of glutathione, which is highly antioxidant and really critical in cellular health. So bring the citrus in, either diffuse them. I use them liberally. I add them to my water to flavour my water and to just help with that whole a different way of accepting them into my body. With regard to a lime, lime's really zesty, and it's about really bringing in that creative spark. It's also green, so it's working on your heart chakra. So sort of letting go of any toxic energies, any sense of betrayal or anything like that. This is your summer. This is your time to dream. Let's just cut through anything that's not going to serve you. And then grapefruit's really good. In summer, we like to get out there some get out there in their bikinis, not this one. But, grapefruit's all about honouring our own body image, okay, and being true to ourselves. It's also I have some friends who have used it, put it with a coconut oil, and actually had some stringent daily practices of rubbing it onto that the golf ball areas of our legs to help to help minimize those build up of fatty cells. So physically it can be very powerful. So very much about honouring our body, though. And then what was the other one I wanted to bring in? Citronella. We spend a lot of time outside in summer, and there's lots of bugs that want to come and attack us. Another one is Terra Arma, that's our blend. But citronella is great for repelling those bugs, but it's also another energetic support, because it's helping to repel any negative energies that might be out there. And when we can keep our boundaries intact, it allows us to be more optimistic about the summer of our life, and about realizing those dreams, and being able to put in place the steps that we can leave that legacy that we want to leave for others. So that were just a few I wanted to throw in. Nicole, we are getting to the end of the session, and I want to hear some parting words of wisdom from you.
Just enjoy summer. Get out in nature. Go for walks. Go to the beach. Swim. Celebrate. This is the time to celebrate and to be joyful, to be surrounded by the people that you love and value the most, and also to take time for yourself. Sometimes you just have to be. You just have to rest. So just listen to your body. Eat what feels right for you, and be with who makes you feel good and comfortable, and do the things that you really want to do. Yeah, it's a celebration. It's summer. It's time to have some fun.
Absolutely, fun. Sounds wonderful. Celebrate, honor yourself, keep it in balance, have fun, and love those around you, and most importantly, love yourself. Thanks for being with us, guys. We will see you in our next session of Wisdom of Essential Oils. Thank you so much, Nicole. Bye, everybody.
Bye.